Hello, welcome to my Monday. It's just about 2 o'clock. We're about done with our day. I have to run payroll. I have to run some credit card payments. I have to send 2 emails, and then we can wrap it up and head on home to play some New World, which is all I care about right now. But I wanted to start off today's video actually talking about something that I talked about last night, but I ended up cutting it from the video because yesterday's video was, Bryce being home and having a nice family Sunday chill, and I had this whole segment that I did at the end, and I ended up deleting it. So I'm going to talk about it in today's video. So real quick, I don't want it to be too long, but Tiff and I were watching this docuseries on Netflix called, I think it's called Bad Influence: Behind the Scenes of Kidfluencers. I think it's a 3-part docuseries, just came out, and basically it's about this mom and this daughter who created a YouTube channel back in 2014, 2015, at the when YouTube was starting to pop off, and family vloggers were a thing, right? They mentioned the Daily Bumps, they mentioned the B family, and a couple other families I recognized. I'm like, oh, look at that. But that was the craze that was going on, and so these, the single mom with 1 kid started creating YouTube channels, and Musical.ly was a thing, and Instagram Reels. It wasn't even Reels. I don't think it was like the boomerang effects, right? Anyway. The docuseries follows the squad, right? So it started with this 1 mom and 1 kid, and they brought in other kids, and she started bringing other kids on to do these collabs, and then started fabricating, everyday life, right? The crushes, and then they did the pranks and the challenges, and just the docuseries kind of follows how this thing got out of hand, really. And this one mom, this one kind of parent kind of got, I haven't watched the last episodes. I don't know how it all ends, but it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. But anyway, the point is, I made a comment to Tiffany. I said, I've gotten emails and comments over the years about our videos and having our kids in the videos and having the kids on the internet and making money off of our kids. And I always respond to these with that's not what this is, and that's not what it's like. But I can see how it looks like that, and I can also see how this particular mom, how it got out of hand, how it went too far. Because at the peak of our channel, we were cranking a couple brand deals a month, and sometimes once a week. We were doing a brand deal a week, and the kids were involved, and there were kid toys, and so I get it, right? But it never started from a place with the kids focused. I mean, there's breadcrumbs. There's a breadcrumb trail of where this all started. Back when I was in high school, college, when the internet first became a thing and I could put things on the internet. I've always been a show off. I've always been like, hey, look at this. Hey, and I want to talk about, what I did and what I'm doing and what I'm interested in. That's always been who I am as a social person, right? A very extrovert person. And having my first blog where I could post photos and write blog posts, and then eventually I could post a video. And then when I realized that video blogging was a thing and I could talk to a camera instead of type on a keyboard, I was like, I'm done typing. Let's just talk, And I did this for many, many years. And my first video with with either one of my kids was before my son was even born. I introduced you to my daughter eating mac and cheese. I'm like, it was literally just a moment. The video was 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and I'm just like, this is my daughter Sierra, and she's like, hi, she's eating her mac and cheese, and that was the start of it, right? So again, I've been doing YouTube before there was YouTube and before there was monetization, and I obviously evolved with the times, but I think the biggest thing is that I had a moment. I've talked about this on the podcast and live streams and videos before, but I had a moment where we were doing brand deals for 3 or 4 days in a row, and Bryce said something about he couldn't go play with his friend because he had to make a video for his dad, and I was like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want my kid to I want my kid to be excited about this. We're playing with Hot Wheels, but if he doesn't want to do it, then I don't want to do it. And that's when I stopped. I didn't accept any brand deals moving forward that involved the kids unless the kids were involved in it. Unless the kids were like, hey, do you want to do this? And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. But that means we have to make a video, which means you have to no playing that day. I explained it to them, and they were on board. And I would say even at that point, we kind of already peaked. So the brand deals kind of slowed down after that. And the brand deals we ended up doing were the trips, the Monster Jams, and the the vacations, and those ended up because the kids were getting older. Anyway, my point is, I can see how it could take a wrong turn. I can see how this could go dark and get out of hand because money exponentially grows and the deals start coming and what you're doing and what makes money. But I also think that at some point, this person lost their way. They started doing things and saying things that, you know, a normal mom wouldn't do. She started looking at her daughter as like a commodity instead of a human, instead of her daughter. And you know, it was never like that for me because I never looked at my kids. Like, we didn't make videos for my kids. I didn't make my videos with, I made my videos. I always did like the documentary style videos, which, you know, for years I was told, hey, stop doing this and do more of this. Your channel will do better. Your videos will do better. You know, do the challenges and we tried the challenges when the vlog started to kind of fade a little bit, and I hated them. I hated doing the challenges. I stopped, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do challenges. I know it's supposed to do better. It didn't, first of all. And second, I don't want to do them. And so, you know, if you look at my track record, I've always been a documentary style vlogger. That's what I do today. It's how I started my channel. And the kids are just part of that story. The kids are just part of that journey. Sure, at some point the vlog started focusing more on them because they were my focus, right? The kids got to a point in an age where like my entire life was consumed by them, by their school, by their sports, by their after school. Like when Tiffany was working and I was solo dad for the night, hey kid, let's go to the park, let's go to the arcade. But I recorded it. Because I do that. I've always just videoed and photoed. I have 18,000 photos on my iCloud account. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been that way. Oh yeah, now I can make money from it. Like, cool. Now this video I'm making of us going to the arcade pays for us going to the arcade and maybe the next time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just thought it was. I wanted to talk about this. I talked about it last night after watching the second episode, but I wanted to make a point to say it as, you know, I wanted to repeat myself and say it again because I thought it was worth repeating that, you know, watching this was very relatable because I can, you know, hearing the stories and seeing how it goes. And, you know, I sit here with a clean conscience knowing that I never went down that path and I never looked at my kids as a commodity. It was always in the aspect of let's do something fun and document it and share it. But we're gonna do this anyway. And at some point when the videos started paying for the things, we could do them more often. We could do the bigger and better things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I did YouTube for many, many years with a full-time job. And it wasn't until, you know, 2014, 2015 when I quit my job that it was my full-time job. And even then, I was making good money, but I just quit my job making good money. So I lost half my revenue, half my income, and had to build my YouTube channel up to get back what I lost. And we eventually did, and we exceeded that. But, you know, looking back, again, Clintus.tv has always been about me and my life and what's going on in my life. And at that point in time, I had 2 young kids, and I was being a dad. That was my main focus, and I documented that, and I shared that, and I feel good about that. Tiffany just got home from Costco. She got her tires rotated. We talked about that yesterday. She brought home a rotisserie chicken and some mac and cheese. And we got a leftover salad. We're just doing a quick grab and go. I'm gonna grab that leg right there. I'm gonna put some mullet sauce on it. Oh man, this fell apart. It's alright, I can still get to that thigh meat. Bam. Oh yeah. You know what I just realized? This is seasoned, and when you buy the packages, it's not seasoned.
Did you eat that?
No.
It's unseasoned.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying when you buy the package that's already shredded, that has no seasoning. This stuff is awesome. If you guys live in the Phoenix area and you get yourself a chance to go try some Saucy Luke's barbecue sauce, all 3 of his sauces are award-winning. They're amazing.
Snag it.
Snag it. Sorry, my microphone's buried, so you guys have to deal with just the ambient microphone, onboard microphone. A little night stroll to end my evening. Get some last minute steps in before I shower and hit the couch with Tiffany. We're gonna watch the final episode of that docuseries we started yesterday. And I got a couple orders to put in, and I'm gonna try and go to bed early tonight. Well, not early, on time. I'm trying to go to bed early, on time today. No New World since I streamed. I'm not even gonna boot it up. So that's how I'm gonna go to bed on a normal time. And just like that, it's 9:30 p.m. The day just slipped right through. Didn't end up watching anything tonight. Got home from my walk and caught up with Sierra and Tiffany, and we kind of went down a weird conversation, kind of reflecting on things and people, and some things that were on Sierra's mind, some things that were on my mind, some things that were on Tiffany's mind, and well, we talked about a lot of stuff, but nevertheless, it kind of consumed our evening. We sat on the couch and just talked for a good hour about random things. It kind of got deep, but nevertheless, those moments happen. It's life. You roll with them, and the night may not go the way it was planned. Your night may not go as planned. Your day may not go as what is planned. But guess what? You go to bed, you wake up, and there's another day tomorrow. You get to try again. And that's ultimately the message that I want to send all of you is it's just one day. Today is just one day. There's another day tomorrow, and another day after that, and after that, and after that, and so many more days. So if today wasn't your day, brush it off. Get back on the horse, so to speak. Dust yourself off, get back on the horse, and keep riding. There's just, I don't know, I'm a huge believer of second and third chances. Fail again, until you find something that works. And nothing lasts forever, as I am a living proof of. So you ride it while you can, enjoy it while you can, and, be ready to pivot and move in a different direction when the time hits. That's all you can do, In the immortal words of Tim Allen, never give up, never surrender. Metaphorically speaking, obviously. Anyway, I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow. More of a normal day. I promise.